Control access to the org. Learning objectives. After completing this unit, you will be able to create, view, and manage users, set password policies, limit the IP addresses from which users can log in, limit the times at which users can log in. Control access to the organization. When you ensure that only employees who meet certain criteria can log into Salesforce, you are protecting your data at the broadest level. You do this by managing authorized users, setting password policies, and limiting when and where users can log in. Manage users. Every Salesforce user is identified by username, a password, and a single profile. Together with other settings, the profile determines which tasks users can perform, what data they see, and what they can do with the data. To view and manage the users in your org, use the quick find box and setup to find users. The user list allows the users in your org. Create a user. You can create users, even multiple users, in just a few clicks. It's as simple as entering a username, alias, and email, and selecting a role, license, and profile. Many more options are available, of course, but that's all you need to get started. Salesforce auto-generates a password and notifies new users immediately. Users can change or add to their personal information after they log in. Use the quick find box to find users in setup. Click new user, or you can add multiple users to add up to 10 users at a time. Enter the user's name, email address, and a unique username in form of an email address. By default, the username is the same as the email address. Select the user license this user will have. The license determines which profiles are available for each user. Select the profile which specifies the user's minimum permissions and access settings. So let's do this. Loading a bit slowly, unfortunately. Can't really find new user, but let's go to users. New user. Test a user. And now we select the license that they should have. I'm not really sure what all of this is for. But anyway, just scroll down there and see what more information they need. Let's uncheck this. A user already exists, so let's see. Here we go. Deactivate user. You can delete a user, but you can deactivate an account so a user can log in. Deactivated users lose all access to records. That includes records that are shared with them individually and records shared with them as team members. However, you can still transfer this data to other users and view the names on the users page. In the setup, you use the quick find box and go to users. Click edit next to the name of the user if you want to deactivate the user. Oh, let me see the active. Click save. You can't immediately deactivate an account. For example, when a user is selected in a custom hierarchy field, you can freeze their account. This prevents the user from logging into the organization while you're working on deactivating them. On the users page in setup, click the username of the user whose account you want to freeze and click freeze. This is already deactivated, but we can also freeze the account now and unfreeze it. Okay, pretty straightforward. Set password policy. You can configure several settings to ensure that your users' passwords are strong and secure. Password policies. Set password and login policies, such as specifying an amount of time before all users' passwords expire and the level of complexity required for passwords. User password expiration. Expire the passwords for all the users in your org except for users whose password never expired permission. User password resets the password for specified users. Login attempts and logout periods. If users logged out due to too many failed logged in attempts, you can unlock the person's access. In the quick find box, find password policies. Users' passwords expire in 90 days. Enforce password history. Free passwords remembered. So basically what that means is you can choose the same last 3 passwords, and the minimum password length is 8 characters. And so you can set like all the settings here. Customize the password settings. How long should passwords be? Longer is usually better. Within reason, I think 8 characters is fine. how complex do you want your password to be? Let's see the options here. I think this is, for example, a reasonable option, uppercase, lowercase, and a number. That's something you can recall. Special characters, I wouldn't really use that, but it's really up to you. How many days? 90 days. I don't think I ever needed to change my password so far. Maybe like 180 days or a year or something in my like normal work Salesforce account. So the admin wants to reduce the workload this way, I suppose. And how many times can someone try to log in with invalid credentials before being locked out? Yeah, like 5 attempts probably makes sense. And then we save it. You can also set like custom message there to specify what the user should do like when they are logged out. So if you're the admin, whitelist is trusted IP ranges from the org. The first time you log in Salesforce, the IP address is cached in your browser. Anytime you log in from a different IP address, you will be asked to verify your identity, typically by entering a verification code. You can bypass this step for trusted IP ranges. For example, suppose that your users should be logged in without entering a verification code whenever they are in the office. From setup, quick enter network access. Let's do this. Network access. Click new. Start an endpoint of a trusted IP range. Well, I don't know like my IP range, so let's just leave it empty. But it's interesting to know. Restrict logged-in access by IP address using profiles. By default, Salesforce doesn't restrict locations for login access. If you do nothing, users can log in from any IP. You can restrict where users can log in from using profiles. For example, suppose that certain users shouldn't be able to log in if they are using an IP address outside of the office. From setup, in the quick find box, enter profiles and select profiles. Select the profile and click its name. Click login IP ranges. Okay, let's go to the profile. Just so we can see this in action. Yeah, let's say force-free user. Login IP range. So if you're in an office and you don't know the IP range, you can either ask someone in IT or you can go to Google like what is my IP address, and you can find the IP there, and then you can enter the range and hope that it covers really like all of your network. Okay, now all users with this profile who are outside of the trusted range can log in. When you are using profile IP ranges, there are no verification codes to worry about. The user is either in or out. Restricted login access by time. For each profile, you can specify the hours when users can log in. For example, if you decide your call center employees really only need to look at customer data while they are taking phone calls 9 to 5, you can make it so they can log in during evenings and weekends. So let's have a look here. Hours. Log in hours. So this is like my time zone based on, I think it's based on your profile, like whatever you select there, the GMT time. So if that's not like your real time shown here, like the GMT time, you will I guess update it in your profile somewhere so it's at the correct time. Otherwise you need to check some time zone page to make sure that the time's here, right? So you can enter the start time and the end time and save it, and that's it. Hands-on challenge. Create a guest administrator and deactivate it. Your developer edition org or Trailhead Playground comes with a system administrator user. Create a new user using the system administrator profile and then deactivate that user to preserve the license in your org. Before you start, let's configure settings, company information to verify that you have one available Salesforce license. Okay, user, let's create a new one. This is the standard playground, so I don't really need to like verify anything, like company settings or anything. New user, profile, system administrator, the license Salesforce. Guest admin, okay. Let's cancel this and try again. Was a bit quick there. So guest admin. Oh. Installation and repair. Active as inactive. Entering some random numbers here. And that works. Okay, let's make this inactive. Save it. And now let's see if this was sufficient. And we got the 500 point. Let's tackle the next unit.